Ah, he's still hot. I just used this wax furnace. This is my wax furnace. You guys have been asking about him. I have forgotten his name. He had a name. I believe somebody in one of my streams named him, and I'm a terrible person because I forgot. But we're gonna call him Fernando because it made me laugh. So a lot of people have asked me about Fernando. Hot. Ooh, almost knocked the scrap cup right onto the floor. That would have been bad. He's hot. Don't touch him. A lot of people have asked me about Fernando because he doesn't look like other wax furnaces. He doesn't look like this one, or this one, or this one. With movie magic, I should hopefully clip him in there. So I can't vouch for those furnaces, although this one has some reviews saying that it's caught on fire, and since it's made partly of wood, I am inclined to believe that review that it caught on fire. I haven't ever used any of those. I looked for a wax furnace when I first started doing this, and I didn't like any of them, so I came up with my own plan, and that's where Fernando came from. The secret to Fernando. The secret to Fernando. Fernando is that he's not a wax furnace. Surprise! He is an essential oil burner. He came with this bowl. You can see my big old mess in the background. You're supposed to put essential oil and water in there and light a candle and, make scented fumes, I guess. I don't know. I got this guy from Mexicali Blues, which not a lot of people, probably only people who live in Maine, such as myself, will know what a Mexicali Blues is, but there are plenty of places that sell them. So to make Fernando a wax furnace, make him a wax furnace, all I did was go to the hardware store and get a big old washer and stick it in the top. And yes, I did walk around the hardware store with Fernando, grabbing random washers off the shelf and sticking them in to see if they fit the way I wanted, and I did look crazy, and people did ask me what I was doing, and I did have trouble explaining. So all I did to finish him off was I added Steven. Steven is my quartz crystal, and he holds up the end of the spoon, as I'm sure some of you have seen in my videos where I zoom out enough to see Steven all the way and see what he's doing. That's how I got him. And you can go make your own Fernando if you would like. You don't have to. You can also buy one of the ones from many of these photos, and they probably work fine too. I just wanted something a little easier to clean. On that note, let's talk about how you take care of Fernando. I'm going to cut to some older footage, I think. Probably older footage that I did for a video that I am now finishing at this moment. And oh my god. Got it. In order to care for your furnace son, you need to bathe him in hot but not boiling water. And then you're gonna hurt yourself checking on it, get the excess wax soft. And then you can use a tool to scrape off the soft wax. I'm not even showing you me doing it. This process can take some time, and you're gonna have to do it over and over again. It might take multiple changes of water as it gets cold. You know, you get the idea. You understand. You're all smart. When you're finished with this part, you're going to release this water and wax mixture into the wild. Dump it outside. Set it free back into the wilderness where it belongs. Don't put it down your drains. Do not put this down your drains. You will clog it. Any drain in your house, even the toilet. Bad. As it happens, you will spill wax onto your wax furnace, and so you have to heat it to get the ring out. because, you know, it's not candle wax. Hot water is not going to do the trick. I mean, I guess if you boiled it, but don't boil the stone. In order to distribute the heat, you might have to put the spoon in it. Science. There we go. Yeah. That's gross. So I put it back in upside down, and yeah, very gross. So you're gonna get Gojo, with a damp paper towel and some Gojo on it. You're gonna very carefully, so not to burn yourself, scrub all around on this. Scrub all up on it. It's gonna start coming off. And you can use metal tools like a butter knife or these little lab tools I have to scrape off the black. And it's a process. It takes some time. It takes a long time to get built up like this. That's just me being lazy. I'm a lazy bones. It doesn't need to be perfect. You just want to avoid a heavy residue buildup. You don't want anything to spontaneously burst into flames, you know? And then you take the ring out again and you do the same thing to the inner ring of this. You'll see it's gross. And when that is all nice and clean, you can blow out the candle. Wait for it to cool a bit, and then you can rinse this under hot water as long as you were thorough. So, you know, you don't clog your drains. In no time at all, you have a much cleaner boy who is much less flammable. And yeah, flammable. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the video, and I'm probably gonna figure it out while editing. If you let this build up too much, there's always a chance it could ignite. Wax is flammable, even if sealing wax is less flammable. If you play around with candle wax and stuff and it builds up, you know, you don't want to have your furnace go up in flames. Those wooden ones can do that too, the ones they sell everywhere. I'm not even sure how to clean those, so I highly suggest getting one of these. Okay, now that Fernando is nice and clean, cough, and we're ignoring my obvious time jump, I am gonna make a stamp, which has to start with the ritual of me attempting to light this candle but not taking it out because it's pretty much like attached to Fernando by wax that I haven't cleaned out from the inside. I mean, I totally cleaned him in recent days. I'm not lying. Focus. Okay, so we're gonna make a stamp in him because I feel like I should make a stamp in most of my videos. Here's a story I haven't brought up yet. So my sister, my oldest sister, I'm having trouble saying oldest sister. I have repeated it like 5 times. I probably cut them out. Oldest sister. Knowing me, I'm gonna clip together every time I said oldest sister. Anyway, my oldest sister came to visit me, and it was the first time she'd ever come to Maine. She came with one of her friends that I've known for a long time, and they got like one of those Airbnb sort of situations, but it was like this little cabin on the water, and it was the weirdest place I've ever seen. I mean, I'm not from Maine. I've lived here a while, but I'm not from here, so maybe it's just how they all are, like how all rental cabins are. But this place, it was like insane. It had like nautical stuff everywhere, like, you know those ladies on the front of boats that are like, I am a boat, like they, I don't know, chest out, head back, just straight on forward, like a boat centaur. They were like boat centaurs. Oh my god. I made up a thing. Boat centaurs. I'll have to coming back later to the boat centaurs in my head. There were like a bunch of them on the wall from old boats. There was at least one in each room. I wouldn't be able to I wouldn't be able to sleep there. I mean, I actually did sleep there, but we had some wine, which made it easier. But I did think about it watching me, and I could see it in the dark, and it was freaky. I didn't like it. I didn't like it even a little bit. I was not a fan. I have pictures I'll probably put up on the screen that I took of them, plus a bunch of other stuff that was on the walls that I thought was kind of neat. Just so you guys could get a visual of what was hanging above the bed, staring down at me while I was sleeping. It was unsettling, for sure. But I had a good time with my sister, and we went and saw a moose in a safe place to look at mooses, multiple moose. There was more than one moose. Time for stamp. Time for stamp. Look at the candle. Adjusting my camera. Continuing to record my voice. Thinking about how I'm going to have to listen to this later when I'm editing it. Sighing about that thought. Here we go. I do love the consistency of this brand of wax, which I do not remember what it is, but I'm 90% sure I got it off of Amazon. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe I'll be able to figure it out. We'll see. And Zelda. Focus on Zelda. There we go, Zelda! And here we have a nice 1970s looking Triforce. Anyway, this has been a short one, and I hope you enjoyed it despite its length. You guys have been asking for the furnace one for a while. I wanted to get a video out to you faster that's more on brand about, you know, how I do my thing, since I haven't put one out in a bit. And, you know, please check out my Patreon or my Ko-fi. You know, like, subscribe, punch the living daylights out of that bell. Is this what I'm supposed to be saying? Is this how it goes? Where even is the turn the camera around button right now? Anyway, it would be much more convenient if you could just psychically know that I have a Patreon and stuff, and I can avoid awkward YouTube things I don't want to do. Anyway, here are my patrons.